Who would you choose? A partner who can provide for you, one who's so wealthy that they could take you on holidays anywhere your heart desires, one who's so rich that being with them means that you never need to work a day for the rest of your life? But the catch is, you can't shake the slight feeling of emotional disconnect. It's always there, but they still make you happy. They tick all of the boxes that you're looking for. Or would you choose someone who truly knows you, a partner who's seen all the worst parts of yourself, yet still chooses to stay and to love you? But the catch with them is that they're broke, you've also seen all of the faults in them, and there's no guarantee that they're going to change who they are. But their love is unconditional. Which one of these people should you choose to spend the rest of your life with if you had to? Materialists, the latest film from Celine Song, explores this question in a very nuanced and interesting way. On the surface level, Materialists appears to be a rom-com, and it functions very well as a film of this genre.
In my personal opinion, I'd actually put it down as one of the best of the genre in recent memory. But what actually makes this film so special is how it explores the question of what actually constitutes true love.
Does it really come down to measurable compatibility, or is there some other quality that you can't measure, something ethereal that draws two people together? But even if that is true, are most romances still destined to fail? Does it even matter if they are?
These are a lot of questions, I know, and before we dive into how the film explores these, we first must acknowledge how well it explores the context of modern dating in the 2020s.
There's a clue in the name. A materialist refers to a person who considers material possessions and physical comfort as more important than spiritual values.
I think that definition covers the majority of the dating market in the world today. Even the fact that I'm calling it a market, I think that says something. So many of us are focused on these materialistic checklists of what we want to find in a partner.
Are they a certain height? What's their salary? How old are they? Do they share similar hobbies? Do they share the same political views? How physically attractive are they? Which physical attributes do we like and dislike about them? Dating apps have distilled people down into checklists, one photo and a few quotes to decide on someone's potential value as a partner. In this movie, Dakota Johnson's character, Lucy, has become so focused on her job as a matchmaker that she seems to truly believe in this way of thinking, that love comes down to maths and tangible compatibility that one can chart on a piece of paper. It might seem predictable, but as Lucy learns through the film, love doesn't always work like that.
Again, I know that might seem a bit predictable and cliche on the surface level, but there is a lot more nuance here if you look a little bit deeper. Hear me out.
Major spoiler warning ahead for Materialists. Harry, the charming rich guy played by Pedro Pascal, is clearly there to tempt Lucy, and predictably she ultimately picks somebody else who's more meant for her over him, even though Harry seems so perfect on the surface level.
But what I like about the script and the story here is that Harry doesn't have some kind of hidden, nasty quality. This isn't one of those eat the rich films that we've had heaps of recently. Look, some of those movies are good, but that's not what this film is about, and having that would be way too obvious.
Harry's presented here as a genuinely nice guy. He truly would be a good partner. Yes, he has his insecurities, but that just makes him even more human. Maybe Lucy could have been happy with him, but she knows in her heart that it doesn't feel right. Like Lucy at the start of the film, Harry is only really able to understand love as a business transaction, a mathematical equation that can be solved with money and tangible assets, even though he does genuinely want to see and experience something beyond that, he just doesn't know how. That truly is the tragedy of his character in this film. And on the other side of things, John, the man that Lucy ultimately chooses, he isn't some kind of saint. He's not only imperfect, but he is deeply flawed. All the reasons why Lucy broke up with John in the past are all still present. He's 37 years old, but he still lives in a messy, crowded apartment with housemates. He still drives the same old car, and he still lives from paycheck to paycheck. His aspiring acting career isn't going anywhere. And Lucy, she isn't the best person either. She admits to being openly materialistic, that she wants to marry the richest man possible. And while she does later retract that sentiment, it's still something that haunts her and was a big reason as to why she left John. But then also at the same time, can you really blame her in that context with him? Lucy ultimately chooses to be with John once again at the end of the film through marriage, but will their relationship last this time? Even if they are married, can that really hold it together? When you really think about it, Materialists actually feels bleak in some ways. And I don't think it's as consciously aware of the doomed romance that it ends with. This reminds me of another film, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, a movie which embraces the idea of a relationship being doomed, yet both lovers choosing to endure this. Materialists chooses to close its eyes to that possibility and instead to proceed with blind hope and optimism.
Which approach is correct? Or does it actually matter?
Materialists is so focused on the far future, grave buddies and nursing home partners.
Yet the characters ultimately choose the now. They prioritize the feelings that they have in the present moment in faith of a romantic and happy future, which, I'll be honest, based on what we know of these characters, it's likely that that future might be plagued by the same problems that they've both had in the past. In Australia, 30% of first marriages end in divorce, 60% of second marriages. None of us walk down the aisle thinking that that's going to happen to us.
Lucy and John choose to do it anyway.
There's a third option that the film doesn't really explore that I think it should have. What if Lucy chose neither of these men? What if she chose to continue on her own?
From the start of the movie, Lucy says that the next person that she dates, she will marry. Lucy, if I'm being honest with you and I'm giving you some dating advice, how about you change that to the next person that you're in a committed relationship to? Not the next person that you're dating. Because as Materialist shows through the character of Sophie, one of Lucy's clients who she sets up on a date with someone who ends up being an abusive man, dating is a risk and you can't really know who the person on the other side of the table is until you truly get to know them.
I think Celine Song really wanted to end the film on a positive and hopeful note, but I think maybe a pensive or more patient one could have worked a little bit better. Maybe Lucy just still needs to take some time looking for what she feels is true love, and that would have been okay.
But instead, Lucy chooses to accept what she knows love to be, with John. Maybe she's actually just as lost as Harry, unable to even understand what true love is, but even less self-aware of it than he is. In the end, I don't think it matters. We're all trying our best and no one really knows the answers. And ultimately, I personally think that love comes down to choices. Not business deals, not infatuation, choices. Who will you choose to be with? Despite all of their flaws, all of their failures, who do you still want to wake up to every morning? I think that asking ourselves those questions can help bring us closer to what love truly is. So kudos to Celine Song here, guys. Even though, yes, that ending might be a little bit predictable from the start, this film is still nuanced in that it raises those thought-provoking questions and ideas. And that's what I think the truly great romance films do. The cinematography was beautiful. I would describe the soundtrack as intoxicating. It's so good. The casting was brilliant too. The hate towards Dakota Johnson is massively unjustified in my opinion. I thought she was pretty good. But man, some of the scenes here, they just hit so hard. The way they first introduced Chris Evans as he just walks behind in the background of a shot. That was so good. The scene where Pedro Pascal's character is questioning whether he's truly capable of love, or that moment when Lucy and John are sitting at that wedding in the countryside. Man, those scenes just slapped so freaking hard, guys. So overall, I'm going to give Materialists 4 stars out of 5. This was a good time, guys. If you did like this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and in the next screen you can check out some of my other video essays and film reviews. I'll see you in the next one.